At V8 Sleuth, we love the history of Australian motorsport. We love the cars, we love the muscle cars, we love all of that stuff. And when I see cars like this, it can't help but take me back to an amazing race, an amazing time. Now, this doesn't look like a race car, but the reality is, despite the fact it has no sponsor stickers, race number, driver's names on the window, this was very much a race car. In fact, it was the top finishing Ford in the 2003 Bathurst 24-hour endurance classic. Now, this car raced in the performance car class. It's a 5.4 litre V8 engine. It's an FPV GT. I mean, it is a classic Aussie muscle car. And we're going to have a really close look at this because this is something really cool. And I haven't seen this car in over 20 years. So this car actually finished 434 laps of Bathurst. Now that sounds like a really long way, but the winning Monaros did over 500. It finished 6th in the performance car class, so it was up against stuff like BMW M3, HSV Club Sport, Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 7, Subaru Impreza WRX STI. So it was very much in the category that these cars all raced in their own series during the year. But come the Bathurst 24-hour, it was an all-in. There was the Monaros, Porsches, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, remember the Mosler as well? There was really something for everybody in those races. There were 45 cars in the race. This car finished in the top, I think it was 16th or 17th, and 6th in the performance class, Class D. So let's have a really good close look at it. I mean, have a look down here, you can see at the moment it doesn't have the slick tyres on. In the racing period, it ran Michelin's, a hard compound Michelin, to make sure that they made it through. They had wet weather Dunlop tyres and they needed it that day in 2003 because it rained. A couple of hours into the race, it absolutely tipped down. It was unbelievable. If you have a look down inside here, big fat Brembo brakes on this thing. This is a real deal Aussie muscle car that has a racing history. And of course, when you have a look around, inside, wraparound Cobra seat, roll cage. This is the roll cage structure. Cam's rollover protection serial number here. This car actually wasn't intended to race at the 24-hour. David Stewart from Bendigo in country Victoria got this car only a matter of some time before the race. The original plan was run a BMW M3, but that deal all went haywire, so they ended up grabbing this car through Jeff Wignall Ford. In fact, it didn't even make it to the dealership in Mornington for them to grab it and get it. So in the end, it was raced by Bill Pye, the late Bill Pye. Many of you will remember from Touring Car Masters and Porsche racing. Chris Smith and Craig Dean, really well known Mustang racer. But I mean, classic muscle car of that period, the early 2000s. Little boot spoiler as well. And if you look really closely, there's all these little telltale things for this car being a race car at the Bathurst 24-hour. It's a little bit hard to see on our camera here, but if I look down here and see through the light here, you can see the outline of some of the sponsor stickers here that have been peeled off. If I look carefully, Holy Trinity Anglican Church in Bendigo. If we dig out the period shot of this car from the race, you'll be able to see that sticker. And up here as well, British, what does it say? British Sporting Cars. I reckon if we look at the picture of the car from the day, you'll see that there as well. Air duct here as well, always a good sign of a race car to keep some cool air coming on in. If you have a little bit of a look in here in the side, of course, fire extinguisher, there's been an additional switch panel put in there. From what we can figure out, this car debuted at the Bathurst 24-hour, and if it did much after that, it's not very much. We need to go dig in the files to learn a bit more, but I love this sort of stuff. I mean, it's not a V8 supercar, it didn't race in the Bathurst 1000, but any muscle car with Bathurst history is something really, really, really cool. Sounds the part, looks the part. If you have a look around at the front here, there's also some more remnants of those little things that tell you, this has had a bit of racing experience. Because if you look down here, tow strap, in case you need to get hauled out of the kitty litter or this car moved, there it is. And if you look at the photos from the period, I think you'll find that there's a tow strap in the same spot. That's where the Maguire's number plate was. They were the sponsor of the class. And you can sort of get a bit of a vibe and a feel that this thing, it kind of wants to do something on a track, doesn't it? I mean, it's got racing pedigree. When these cars were built, it very much had muscle car and stuff that goes fast in mind. But how cool is it after all these years to have seen that car on the track at the Bathurst 24-hour, to get up close and personal with it and check it out here is something really, really quite cool. Now this car is going to be available from Slattery Auctions. Check out their website, their social media for all the details on how to get involved and maybe add this one to your collection.